Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about where and how to locate turkeys. Let's get right to it. All right, the first question is where do I start hunting turkeys? Where can I go? Well, that's an easy one. Anywhere you have access to. There are literally millions of acres of public land out there, guys. And a lot of those areas don't even require a quota permit. A lot of them do. I hunt a lot of public land that does require quota permits that you have to put in for every year, but a lot of it doesn't. And down here in Florida, there are literally millions of acres that does not require a permit, and that actually provide decent opportunities for people that can go and have hundreds and thousands of acres by themselves, and that is a great place to start. So really anywhere you can have access to. So that's an easy one. Now, a place to start once you get there is, I like to start at a water source. That is the main thing in life. I mean, if you go out into a desert, I mean, you're not going to really find that many turkeys. But right here behind me, this is a creek bottom. So this would be a place that I would start. Now, up on this hill here, there's oaks. It would be a great feeding area for turkeys. So this would be an area that I would definitely target. I have water, and an old timer once told me that turkeys love to roost over water for one reason. And if they can hear their droppings hit the water, they can hear predators approaching them at night. And that kind of makes sense. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it kind of makes sense. So that would be a great spot to start, anywhere near a water source. Well, guys, after you find your water source, get out there, start looking around, try to find you some tracks, some droppings, turkey bowls, things of that sort. And if you can find any scratching. So I'm gonna get looking around, see if I can start finding those things and putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Walking along this road, I found a turkey dust bowl. Well, what this is a lot of times turkeys will walk along and they'll find a sandy area or an area where there's some loose soil, and they'll start scratching and they'll almost dig a hole, and they'll get down in it and they'll start fluffing around, and they'll get that dust down inside their feathers. And what that'll do is it actually keeps pests and parasites off of them, and it also will keep their feathers from getting matted down. And a lot of times they'll leave feathers behind. And if you check those feathers out, sometimes you can determine if it's a hen or a gobbler. And if it's a gobbler, their feathers are darker, almost like a black color, and it'll have a iridescent shine to them. And if you look here on my backpack, this feather is a gobbler's feather. And I found this a few years ago. Actually in a turkey bowl, so I kept it. And a lot of times these bowls, there'll be quite a few of them, and that's a good way to determine just how big that flock is. When you're scouting areas like this and tracks and scratching is hard to find, you can look for other sign like turkey droppings. Now, I found one on the road right here, and if you look close, the shape of this turkey dropping is in the shape of a J. So this would be a gobbler or a jake. If it was a hen, it would be in the shape of a piece of popcorn. All right, guys, here is a hen dropping. As you can see, it's a smaller piece, and it's more of a circular pattern, kind of like I said before, it's kind of like a piece of popcorn. All right, guys, pay attention to where you have open areas like this, where it meets tall timber like that. All these tall trees right here are a great area for turkeys to roost. And if you can get up in there, you can tell if it's a roost site because there'll be a bunch of droppings underneath those trees. All right, y'all, I just found a pile of little dust bowls. I don't know if you can see here. They're a little older, but that really doesn't matter to me because I know that these turkeys have been here for a long time. So with all that fresh sign up there I found a bunch of fresh turkey droppings along with these dust bowls here. That's telling me that they love this area and they stay here a lot. All right, y'all, we got a little bit of scratching action here. See where they've been scratching right here, right around this big oak tree. It's like they know where the bugs are gonna be. I mean, so that's a great spot to start. Around the bases of trees. They also like to go around logs, old dead logs. I bet if we go out here and start looking around those dead logs out here, we probably find some more. But we're gonna keep on looking up in here. This looks like a great area for turkeys. I mean, we've already found a pile sign, so we've already found tracks, scratching, dust bowls, droppings, gobbler droppings, so we know they're here. So the only thing we need to do is to come roost one at night, come back in the morning and kill them. Guys, this place is just absolutely destroyed with turkey scratching. So I'm definitely coming back here. They've been all in here, guys. Also, guys, keep in mind, it's about 10:20 in the morning. And it's still very, very shady in here. So that brings up a good point. These gobblers will not get hot, and they probably will not go find a shady area like that creek bottom we were in. So they'll probably hang out here probably most of the day. So you could probably hunt in this area the majority of your hunt, probably all day. You know, this brings up a weird tip that I have. This came from a friend of mine, Steve, that has since passed away. But he once told me that you have to be very, very still while turkey hunting. You have to be very quiet while turkey hunting. Be covered in camouflage. But if you have a gobbler coming in, and it doesn't matter how close he is, you can actually talk in your normal voice and it will not scare him. I never believed him till one day we had some jakes come in. And I said, what the heck? I'm gonna see if this is true. So my buddy of mine was probably sitting about 5 yards away, and I started talking, and we held a conversation, and it never spooked those turkeys. They never looked up, they never looked around, they never putted, and they never got alarmed. It's like they were never fazed by us talking. Of course, we never moved. We didn't make any crunching of the leaves, so it held true. So since then, we actually talk. So if a gobbler comes in and he's, we use locations. 3 o'clock, Lynn, to your right, or he's 2 o'clock, or 9 o'clock. We'll talk, and it's true. It works. So that's your weird tip of the day. Well guys, I just sat down to eat my lunch and I pull my stuff out and I hear something in the woods there, and I look up and there's like 4 or 5 gobblers just running through the woods. So I hurry up and try to grab the camera, and I run over and try to hide behind a tree, and they come running, and I thought they were running away from me, and then I tried to come back and I look over and they've made a loop and they ran right back to me, and they came right back here behind me somewhere. It's now 11 o'clock. That goes to show, man, if you stay in these areas that are cool and shady, there's no telling what'll happen. So I'm gonna sit here and eat my lunch and continue scouting, but I think I'm done for the day. So this is one area I'm definitely gonna come hunt. While I was sitting down eating, right after those turkeys came through, an owl right there by me started hooting. So try to get a little bit of footage of them. But those gobblers never did shot gobble, so I was hoping to get that on camera for you guys, so you guys that have never really experienced that could hear it. But I guess that goes to show anything can happen, even while scouting. But you always got to be on your toes out here. So I just stalked up on those gobblers, and I got about 60 yards from them. I don't recommend that, but I really wanted to get them on camera one more time, but I got to get up out of here, so I'm gonna try to sneak past them and get back to the truck. Check out the size of these hog tracks. Now I'm 6'1", about 220 pounds. These things are huge. These are the biggest hog tracks I have ever seen in my life. Look. And this is a walking track. I would not want to meet up with this guy. Other areas you'll find gobblers are in their strut zones, or some people call them staging areas. Now those could be power lines, gas lines, or in some cases just open areas in the middle of the woods. Kind of like this one right here behind me. You'll know you found a strut zone when you see a bunch of gobbler tracks and you'll see strut marks. Now strut marks are when they're in full strut, the tips of their wings will drag the ground, and it kind of looks like you took 2 dinner forks and drug them in parallel of each other about a foot apart. So that area back there where those gobblers were strutting around, I believe that was their late morning strut zone. So I believe what happened was the hens have left those gobblers, and they returned to those strut zones to attract other hens when the other hens have just completely left them and went to their nests. So I got to keep that in mind, so when it gets in those late mornings, I know exactly where to go. And here's a random tip. Turkeys can't smell. So make sure you wear lots and lots of bug repellent to keep the ticks and chiggers off of you. I just jumped a fox squirrel. Almost needed medical attention. Why do they wait till you get so close? I mean, what if they were just walking along, chilling, and I jumped out of my tree stand and was like, surprise, sucker! Another great spot to locate a gobbler in is a burned area like this one behind me. Especially if there's no fields, power lines, or gas lines in the area, this would be an absolute banger of a spot to find one in. We've covered the 3 main areas that you're going to find a gobbler. That is their roost site, their feeding area, and their strut zone. Now get out there and apply what you've learned in this video and make your spring turkey season successful. Until next time, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video.